Hello everyone, this is Dr. Rajani, Assistant Professor, Department of Materia Medica. Today we are here to discuss about ammonia mure. Uh, so first and foremost thing which we see in ammonia mure is less prominently a right-sided medicine than ammon carb. Okay, so first thing what we see is the difference basically that this is less predominantly on the right side, whereas ammon carb is predominantly on the right side. It acts especially on the forehead and causes ulcers and ulcerative pains, also dislocation like pains and tension as if tendons were contracted. Both causes paralytic weakness, both are aggravated in open air. Ammon mure has amelioration from warm bath. Ammon carb has great sensibility to cold and to damp weather, whereas in muriaticum it is less so to be seen. Both of these have itching eruptions of all kinds, drowsiness by the day with indolence, shivering pain in the evening. Mental states also of these two are very much similar, right? So they both have mostly similar symptoms, but in muriaticum we see perhaps more of melancholy and disposition to tears than the other one, that is carbonicum. It has peculiar to itself, that is antipathy to certain persons. Ammon more people doesn't like certain people, okay, otherwise they're fine. Ammon muriaticum has fear of darkness like how we see in stramonium, but ammon carb doesn't have fear of darkness. Now in muriaticum mostly we see in head there is fullness, weight in forehead, burning in eyes in the twilight especially, or in morning with photophobia. Ulcerations mostly in the corners of mouth, sensation in stomach as if fasting, which nevertheless feels full and aggravated after breakfast. Intermittent pains in both the hypochondria, stitches and burning in liver region, stitches in spleen, which mostly aggravates by sitting. Right. Next, what we see is in fever, chilliness predominates. Right. There is tension in the either groins, shootings in scapula, and ice cold sensations between the scapula, which is unrelieved by external wraps. Constipation and piles with bleeding at stool, soreness around the rectum, around the anus. There is hard stool covered with mucus. Mucus secretions mostly are increased. Menses are too early, too copious in the females with pain in loins. Vomiting and diarrhea are being seen mostly. Neuralgic pains in the feet, especially during the menses. Coryza, if we say, coryza will be there, acrid watery discharges with cold feeling between the shoulders and loss of smell. Cough and asthmatic symptoms aggravate at in the evening and at night mostly, and also in the open air. Also, we see that there is pain as from ulceration at tip of fingers, neuralgic pain in stumps of amputated limbs, ulcerative pains in heels. Sciatic pains are also there as if tendons were too short, which is aggravated by sitting or walking. Tension in legs on lying, large buttocks mostly, fatty tumors, obesity. These are predominantly seen. Now, coming to the mental symptoms, we see that they have great anguish and melancholy from vexation and cares, with inclination to shed tears, full of grief but cannot weep, morose, apathetic, with repugnance, conversation, irritability, disposition to be angry, antipathy mostly to certain people. They do not like certain people, right? Next, what we see is head symptoms, mostly dizziness and vertigo, flushed face and enlarged veins, which mostly disappear in the open air, sensation of fullness in the head and weight over the forehead, chiefly in the morning, uh, congestion of blood in the head with internal heat, itching in the scalp, which forces to scratch constantly, falling out of the hair, often with the dandruff is being seen, burning pains in the eyes, in the corners of the eyes, palpitation in the eyelids, confused sight. They feel as if from the mist, how you see that kind of vision they have. Fluttering spots and points before the eyes. uh, in the evening, they during the candlelight they have difficulty. Yellow spots before the eyes on looking steadfastly at any object or while sewing. uh, there is shooting pains in the ears from the inside. Eruptions in the ears, running from the ears. Hardness of hearing, tingling and buzzing before the ears. um, Affections of the right ear commencing in the throat, as if the throat and the ear were connected. So whenever there is affections in the throat, they have trouble in the ear, right ear especially. Drying and piercing sensations are present in the ears. Next, what we see is the swelling of the nose and painful sensibility with to the touch, with pain of ulceration and bloody crust in the nostrils. Coryza with a stoppage of the nose and loss of smell. There is a clear corrosive watery discharge during the coryza, which corrodes the lips. Acute sensations of tearing, violent pain in the zygomatic bones, burning heat in the face, especially in the room, inside the room when they are. Ulcerations in the corners of the mouth and in the upper lips. Uh, Dryness of the lips, wrinkled lips, chapped lips are being seen, with blotches of the skin peeling off. The face burns with an eruption which requires cold application mostly and gets relieved. Swelling of the submaxillary glands with throbbing pain. Acute sensation of tearing in the teeth with swelling of the gums and shooting pain. Burning blisters on the point of the tongue. Shooting pain in the throat on swallowing. Also swelling of tonsils, so he can scarcely swallow after taking cold. Bitter taste in the mouth, chiefly in the morning, with bitter irritations and anxiety. Absence of hunger and the appetite, but much of thirst is present in the evening. After every meal, nausea will be present. Eructations mostly bitter or imperfect. Regurgitation of what was being taken, right? So whatever they have eaten, that gets regurgitated. Next, what you see is frequent violent hiccough, often with sootings in the chest, water rash, drawing or gnawing pain in the stomach as if from the worms. Sensation of burning in the stomach and in the pericardial region. Inflation of the abdomen, pinching in the abdomen is present. There is also tension and swelling in the groins, sensation of swelling and pain as of the ulcerations, as of from the ulcerations of the in the groin on their being touched. Shooting pains in the region of the spleen, chiefly in the morning on waking, along with the dyspnea. There is constipation present in Amon-Muir and diarrhea also, but when constipated, they have hard stools, frequent and soft, covered with mucus. When diarrhea, that is with pain, as if caused by excoriation or by a bruise in the belly. So that will be loose, slimy, greenish stools. Before the stool, there will be pain in the belly around the navel. Discharges of blood also are being seen with the stool. Pustules from beside the anus with itching and soreness. Stool often varies in color at every evacuation, so there is no two stool being alike. Pain in the perineum, especially when walking, and there is hemorrhoids also with burning, stinging and smarting pain. Urinary symptoms, if you see, they have evacuation of urine increased, mostly at night, and the most important symptom is reddish clear urine without sediment, slow flow of the urine more abundantly during the stool, and urine smells strongly of ammonia. Females, if you see, the menses are too early, too copious, with pain in the abdomen, loins, and pains compressive or drawing kind. During the menses, vomiting and diarrhea are being seen, drawing in the feet or discharges of blood on going to stool. Hoarseness of the voice with sensation of burning in the larynx, violent cough, chiefly in the evening and at night. The cough is aggravated after a meal, as well as after a cold drink or when lying with the head low. There is a fatty swelling on the nape of the neck which extends from ear to ear, coldness in the back, especially when the between the shoulders, but even if they cover, nothing happens. Heaviness and stiffness of the limbs as if paralyzed during the night, acute tearing in the arms as if it were in the bones, pain as from dislocation in the wrist, sudden jerks, pain as from ulcerations at the tip of the fingers, exfoliations are being present. The feet gets very cold in the bed. Sleep, mostly you see that in the early evening they have inclination to sleep. Dreams, mostly anxious, fearful, frightful, and lascivious. This is all about uh, ammonium. Next class we'll be reading about some other remedy. Thank you very much.